A photovoltaic array, which is another way of saying solar cell, is 10% efficient in gathering solar energy and converting it into electrical energy. Okay, the average intensity of the sunlight on one day is 700 watts per meter squared. So maybe you've never come across intensity before, but we can figure out what that means by just looking at the units. You can see it's a watt per meter squared, so that's the power. So the intensity is the power per unit area. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Calculate the area. Okay, so we want to find the area now. That the array should have to gather energy of 100 power of 100 watts. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to take that 700 watts per meter squared, that intensity, 700, and I'm going to multiply by 0.1, the efficiency, because I know not only 10% of that is actually going to be converted into anything that's useful electrical energy. So that gives me 70 watts per meter squared. Okay, so the thing is, I don't want to get 70 watts, I want to get 100 watts. So what area? So obviously we're going to need more area than a meter squared. So we need to do 70 watts per meter squared times some area, which will have the units of meter squared, to give us 100 watts. Okay, so if I do A, it's going to equal 100 divided by the 70. That gives me an area of 1.43 meters squared, and that makes sense. You know, we want quite slightly larger area than 1 meter squared to gather 100 watts of energy. Okay, a hydroelectric power station has a power of output of 9.5 megawatts when water passes through its turbines at a constant rate of 1.5 meters cubed per second. Okay, so maybe you've never come across this quantity before, but you can figure out from the units what it means. So as you can see, it's meters cubed per second, so that's the volume per unit time. Okay, so that's the rate at which the water is flowing past. The water is supplied from a reservoir which is 750 meters above the power station. Okay, that's your height there. And the density of the water here is 1000 kilograms per meters cubed. Okay, so that's the mass per volume. Okay, that's your density, mass per volume. Given that symbol Greek rho, okay, calculate the efficiency. Okay, so to calculate the efficiency, we need to see what kind of energy conversion is taking place. So in a hydroelectric power station, we have GPE for the water that's high up, and then that's going to turn to kinetic energy, but then it's eventually going to be turned into electrical output here, so electrical energy. Okay, so well, let's calculate the GP that's going to lose when it falls by 750 meters. So GPE is going to equal mgh. The problem is we've got G and we've got H, but we don't have M. But we can figure out M by doing the flow rate, which is the volume that's flowing past per second, and multiplying that by the density, which is the mass per volume. So if we do 1000 times 1.5 meters cubed per second, that gives us 1500. But that's not just the mass, that's the mass per unit time. Okay, so that's the mass per second, how much is flowing past per second. And we don't have time, so we won't be able to work out the mass that's actually flowing past in a particular time. So what we can just pretend is we can, if you want, you can even use time equals 1 second to help you understand what's going on here. So I'm just going to assume like we're going to take 1500 kilograms per second and use that as our mass in this equation. So the GPE that's lost per second in this case is the mass that's going past per second, the mass that's falling, times 9.81 times the height it's falling by. And that gives us, if we do this, 1.10 times 10 to the 7 watts, which is 11 megawatts, which is clearly, as you can see, is smaller than 9.5 megawatts. So not all of that energy is going to be turned into electrical energy. Some of it might be just left over as kinetic energy in the water that's coming out at the end, or lost as heat and so on. Okay, so let's calculate the efficiency. So efficiency will be equal to the useful energy, which is the electrical one, in megawatts, and then I'm going to divide that by total energy lost by the water, which is 11. That gives me 86% efficiency. A small wind turbine has blades with a diameter of 1.0 meters. The efficiency of the turbine is 20%. Calculate the power generated when wind flows past the turbines at a speed of 6.0 meters per second. The density of the air is 1.2 kilograms per meters cubed. So how does a wind turbine work? So it's got wind that's flowing through here at a speed of 6 meters per second, so it's got some kinetic energy. Again, that's going to turn into electrical energy, but only 20% of it. So first we need to calculate the kinetic energy then, half mv squared. We've got the speed, 6 meters per second, but we don't have the mass. Okay, so we're going to look for clues how to get the mass in this question here. We've got the density over here, which is the mass per unit volume. So that means we'll need the volume. How can we get the volume? Well, let's look for more clues. We've got the diameter here. Okay, this is the diameter, so it's going to involve some kind of circle. So a good way to think about the air that's flowing past is to think of it as a cylinder of air. The cylinder has a radius of 0.5 meters. Okay, and from that we can figure out the volume. How can we figure out the volume? Well, let's do this. So mass is going to equal the density times the volume. Okay, and the volume is going to be the cross-section area of this circle, which is pi r squared. So in this case, pi r squared, okay, times the length. Okay, and that's the area of the cylinder length. However, I don't have the length, okay, but what I do know is that 6 meters of air flows past per second. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretend time is 1 second. Okay, so that I can use 6 meters here. Okay, so instead of getting the mass in this case, what I'll be getting is the mass that's flowing past per second, and instead of getting energy, I'll end up getting the energy per second, which is going to be the power. So in this case, the length is L. Okay, so I'm going to multiply these together, putting the numbers in. So 1.2 times pi times r squared times 6. That gives me a mass of 5.655 kilograms per second. Okay, so that, remember that because we use 6 meters instead of 6 meters per second, it should be in per second. Okay, now that I've got the mass there, I'm going to multiply it by 0.5 and the speed squared, 6 squared, and that gives me a kinetic energy of 101.8 watts. But not all of this will turn into electrical energy, only 20%. So if I multiply that by 0.2, I get power that should be generated of 20.3 watts. Okay. State the effect on the power generated when wind blows at twice the speed. Okay, so if you look back at our question, how we did it, we actually used the speed 3 times. Okay, we used the speed as one of the lengths here, and we used it for the kinetic energy, and we used it squared there. So so we know that the power that's generated is proportional to the volume cubed. So what happens if I double my the speed cubed? If I double the speed and I cube that, that's going to mean that the power is going to become times 8. Okay.